All right, and we are here. I'm the only one and only Yo Carmichael, my partner Rockin' Reese, and hopefully Antonio shows up. Hopefully, and we got some really dope topics to talk about. We go talk about the great wrestlers who come from the gridirons of football. Ooh, Lord. There we go. Gridirons of football come from wrestlers, or wrestlers come from gridirons, and we're going to talk about Tony Khan making big moves that would happen recently on AEW. And also a question about what's next for CM Punk, Elite, and BCC. And a little bit of New Japan Burning Spirit Tour, in which has been happening this week and building for a big event. But therefore, I start for my belt collectors.
The new Embrace the Thirst Intercontinental Champion. Uh, the new Embrace the Thirst IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
had to get it. This is one of my all-time favorite championship from New Japan, right next to version 4,
And you,
IWGP
Coda.
Heavyweight Champion. I hate him. Uh, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, the never overweight title, and of course this title. This title I've been eyeing on for a very, very long time since Nakamura held it, since Hiroshi Tanahashi, long list of names, and now I got the belt and is in my prime position. So speaking of a prime position, no prize position, Tony Khan, he had to make some big decision. He had to make an announcement on Dynamite in which not one but two titles have to be vacated: the AEW World Championship and the Trio Tag Team Championship. Uh, Very big move on his behalf. We all knew that something must have happened with the Elite and CM Punk, which we would talk about them much soon later on. But I figured the tag would be a banquet because CM Punk got injured during the whole fight or during the match against John Moxley, and the Elite, of course, got suspended. So therefore, there's no interim. We gonna have a tournament for the World Championship, which they happen on Dynamite and Rampage, and we have a new trio tag team champions, uh, Death Triangles, in which Pac is currently carrying around with All Atlantic Championship and a trio. Um, Good move, not surprised with it, and it will show great leadership from Tony Khan on his behalf.
Yeah, it's about time considering all the craziness that's been going on in recent years. But let's first of all, I want to focus on the positive.
Yes.
Congratulations to Pac. What a 2022 he's been having. I believe this is the first time he has been a double champion in his career. Yeah, because of course, first, like I said, All Atlantic Championship, of course, being the inaugural champion, and now being the second uh, trio trios championship winner. Technically, should have been the first at that one too. But man,
Yeah.
congratulations there, Pac, and of course, Lucha Brothers added to their legacy in tag team wrestling. And I have to say, man, Death Triangle, yeah, yeah, they're having a pretty nice 2022 so far.
Yeah, they had a good year. Can't say anything bad, even though they had a little small little hiccup with Ray Phoenix got his elbow injury, but overall they have a one of the best year, best match. Plus they finally got the goal in their trio. Ever since they put together with Pac and the Lucha Brothers, I'm just wondering like, okay, hopefully they got a title. I wish they did bring the title into the Death Triangle with the tag team titles. And then we looked at Pac and we was hoping and praying that he would win any type of title. either the AEW Championship or a TNT title or tag team title with one of the brothers. But luckily, he finally captured the All Atlantic Championship and a Forbidden Door, and now he honed on the Trio Tag Team Championship. So he got a good year, good run in AEW.
And
Uh,
already, I believe, what, four defenses already since Forbidden Door when he won the championship? Yeah, Pac's already putting prestige on that title.
yeah, it already is like he defending title in Europe, and he defending title like even won AEW. So I can easily say it's kind of like the not the European title, but more like the, of course, the Intercontinental Championship. So he put a prestige on it, and hopefully he'll defend more title outside, bring more eyes on not only for the AEW, but all eyes on the All Atlantic, which I see on Twitter, all eyes on me on from Pac. But hopefully it'll bring more prestige to it. And the question is, who's next number one contender? I have to check out on the rankings because those rankings are really tricky, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, but let's see. There's also another thing I had to mention with this whole situation, like going over to the tournament for the AEW Championship.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people are looking forward to this being Moxley versus Danielson, which would be like the first time I believe since forming BCC that we actually had people compete against each other. But there's a scenario nobody's talking about, most likely because they don't see it happening. What if that AEW championship match comes down to that finals becomes Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara?
Yes. People have seen Rampage or have not seen. Sammy Guevara won the match defeating Darby Allin, which great match. It always put out one hell of a great match.
You know, of
Um,
course,
damn.
Anna Jay had to wind up getting him. Anna Jay and Ty Conti both wind up getting interfering. But then again, hey, who wouldn't be distracted by them too? But that's another story.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll be distracted as myself.
yeah,
But yeah, that's one scenario that nobody would talk about. Jericho and Guevara.
yeah.
To be.
And especially with all the tension already going on between Jericho and Daniel Garcia, who, by the way, just became the peer champ or ROH peer champion this past Wednesday.
Hmm. Also, great match. Congratulations to Daniel Garcia, one of my favorite wrestlers, and on winning prestigious pure title. But the tournament is really tricky. Well, I take that back. It's not tricky. It's very predictable. They got their favorites. Even though we still kind of pretty much upset that Miro is not in the tournament. You know, he is a former TNT champion, but
Mm-hmm.
different story. But Garba and Jericho, that will be one hell of a good match. Also, it'll be very interesting because them two had never fought each other in AEW. I don't think
No,
so.
because usually Jericho and Guevara were usually riding with each other first inner circle, and now Jericho Appreciation Society. So
Mm, so that's gonna be very interesting. And of course, there's a wild factor, which I hate to bring his name up. MJF, who got the chip, so he can cash in anytime, any place, anywhere, and what perfect place to do it at New York, his backyard at the final, at the Grand Slam.
oh wow, I didn't even think about that. And
Yeah.
back there. Yeah, and I don't think they have any Long Island shows coming up. So, yeah.
No, mostly that's in Ash
Yeah,
Stadium.
yep, of course, we're the site of one of the greatest matches that happened the previous year. Brian Danielson, Kenny Omega for first time ever. Yeah,
Classic match, also
yep,
classic historic show for AEW.
yep.
Um, but yeah, I see so many wild factors in it.
And But now let's get to the elephant in the room. And I hadn't even given a thought on this like since everything happened. And I was hoping somehow I would not have to bring a name back that I have not said in damn near a decade. But just when I thought he was gone, CM bitch returns. And I was hoping that those 7 years off would have kind of mellowed him out and like made him think, all right, I already got through this with WWE. If I come back to AEW, let's hope we don't stir that pot again. But then you hear about everything that happened to All Out, and hell, even in the weeks leading up to it, when he called out Hangman out of nowhere, and it's like, Gene, why am I not surprised that this is coming out of film? But at the same time, I'm also looking at Kenny and the Bucks saying, wow, I was wondering how long it was going to be before these three wound up stirring the shit pot. Because, and actually, I was surprised it hadn't happened earlier in AEW's existence, but
Uh, I mean, I want to call CM Punk a bitch because CM Punk he always stay real. I mean, like I
and
said, previous like I don't know, this couple of days back, he is like the Pusha T of pro wrestling. When you give him the microphone, he have no problem of speaking the truth or tell how he felt or express himself from the heart, or I should say from the gut. And with this situation, it was left field. It was like out of nowhere. And I feel like it was been brewing for a very long time. And for him just pull all them triggers and throw some all them shots, it ruffled some feathers. And it caused a lot of brouhaha with the elite, in which I hear so many stories with how the fight went or who did what. It's like they have so many stories or endings. I'm feeling I watched the movie Clue
mm,
with so many alternate endings. But with this situation, no matter what, at the end, Kenny Omega get bit. That's the one thing that sticks out. Anything else is Kenny Omega get bit, TTS, teeth to skin.
hey, Larry.
Yeah, and saving Larry. Lord, like thank God Larry did not get hurt. But Kenny Omega get bit, chair get thrown around. It just like is really, really crazy. And after this one, aftermath of the whole situation, of course, we get suspended, we got hurt, people lose the
But here's
title.
what I want to touch on though.
Mm,
How did the dudes who are trying to break up the fight get suspended?
that's a mystery. Like, if they try to break up the fight, they shouldn't get in trouble. Like, Michael Tozawa and
Yeah,
Christopher
Collar.
Daniel, and all them people, they shouldn't get suspended. They shouldn't get nothing at all. Like, this, like, nothing. But for them, I don't know why they suspended. That was mistake on Tony Khan part.
And,
But here's another part, and I think this is fresh and brand new. I think I brought this up to you guys. There's some rumor that the Young Bucks is sending the feelers out to WWE.
yeah, actually, I just read that, and not just from the article you read too, or you shared, but
Yeah, it's
oh, so now let me get this straight. So in the calendar year of 2022, we've had Cody Rhodes return to WWE at WrestleMania. Now there's allegedly a story about the Young Bucks heading to WWE, or at least trying to talk to WWE. Yeah, everybody,
I'm
do your own thoughts on that one.
I just hope it is a false rumor. I wish the Young Bucks speak up on their behalf But if this is true, all my respect towards the Young Bucks is thrown out the window because you're the originators, the innovators of how to become successful without going to WWE. You got a book like you. Where's my damn book? Well, I got a book somewhere. You got
Outside
you
of
got
Muda,
yeah. Of course, outside of Muda, you pretty much made it from the indies to your own promotion. Why you want to go to work for? Now, if they want to work with them, like working with talents behind the scenes,
yeah,
I still have some feelings about that because that's I don't know for that part, but if that be the case, okay, working with young talent, that's cool. I get that. Sort of okay. Had a little feeling with it, but okay. But you step foot in WWE working for Triple H, the same man, scratch that, the same company who send you a cease and desist letter, and you wore a T-shirt cease and desist just to throw back at WWE.
mhm,
This is the same WWE who pretty much rip off the Bullet Club, but yet you want to go to WWE, and and you just told the whole world that hey, we can make it. You don't have to go to WWE. Look at us. You just came from being broke, came for Popeye two-piece dinner to now you want to send out feelers to go to WWE because CM Punk ruffle your feathers or hurt your feeling,
mhm,
bro. I thought Cody Rhodes would be the biggest bitch. If the Young Bucks do it and the Kenny Omega,
mhm.
their legacy is going to go straight down the toilet, and they will
You know,
compare. Mhm.
you know what would be the only reason that would make me want to see the Bucks and Kenny go to WWE? I could imagine the video Cornette's going to release the moment that
Oh my God,
goes. Oh, I would tell you this. That would be the video of the year if the Young Bucks ever, if the Young Bucks ever. Actually, you know what? Just the rumor of this happening right now, I can already imagine Cornette having a. I can already imagine Cornette letting loose on us right now.
shit, you don't worry about Cornette. Worry about what the hell I'm going to do if I see the
Uh,
Young Bucks step foot in any show.
mm, and oh no, yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Thirsty, yeah, I like, yeah, Thirsty Jack gonna be turned up nah, the way you were with Cody, yeah. Oh, that's gonna pale in comparison because Thirsty Jack was here with Cody. If the Bucks happen, yeah, yeah, I'd reach that high, but I don't want to try and pull my shoulder out of socket. But yeah, it's gonna be way, way, way worse.
Like you're the EVP. You created or helped and built all elite wrestling. Matter of fact, you you
The
helped
company's named after him.
yes, and you don't work with a man with Triple H. And here's the thing that I don't trust Triple H that much, and he started to sound like his stepdad. Remember the interview with him and Ariel, and he talking about what it's like to be a WWE superstar, and he compared it to a UFC, and he say you see a MMA guy, tattoo, tribal tattoo with all muscle up, and say, hey, I'm an MMA guy. Like, okay, have you stepped foot in the UFC? And when he say that, I'm thinking like, wait a minute, you do realize there's more MMA organization outside of UFC. We got one championship. We got Bellator.
Bellator,
We got
Strikeforce.
Strikeforce, Rising. I mean, a whole plethora of MMA from small to well known. And the first thing pop your head is UFC. It's like all to end all to be all. And that's what Triple H is planting if everybody's mind in that interview is you're not gonna make it unless you step foot in WWE. And while I'm thinking about the Young Bucks sending out fillers, in which I don't know it's a rumor, I hope to God there's a rumor. It's kind of like a big slap to the face to all the young people, the people who look up to the Young Bucks, the day one folks from PWG to TNA era through New Japan, Ring of Honor. Hell, I even got the Young Bucks shirt, the first time ever, the Young Bucks shirt and my collection. Who look up to these guys as a not a great tag team, a legendary tag team, but a great businessman who can show that you can success. But for them to go work for Triple H, that will be the ultimate slap in the face. That will be the biggest hypocritical move ever since Cody. And you thought them burning the show Cody be bad. Wait until the day one people flipped on Cody.
Yep. Yeah, and at least, and especially when it comes to like people who are more Nick Jackson fans, because and I think it was either you or Tone that played this clip, but I was like, I actually forgot about Matt being in the WWE like as a jobber, like really, 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 really early in his career.
Oh yeah.
Mm. Yeah, but it's like, yeah. Although truth be told, yeah, I kind of can't even see the Bucks in the WWE because hell, if anything, they'd be the type of people Vince would have wanted, but yet for some reason, never outside of maybe their size. Yeah, like he never really like if he wasn't interested in like there had to be something that turned him off about because you're thinking at least for comedy bits, the Bucks would be probably two of those guys other than our truth who would have been like naturals for those segments.
Yeah. They got their own YouTube. Oh my god, the YouTube channel. Like if they're going over there, you realize that WWE will own being elite and put them underneath their own network or
Yep,
Peacock.
yep.
So it's deeper than them guys stepping step foot. And plus the T-shirt, that means the pro wrestling tees. I don't know. They may or may not use their image. Like not Catch Jack, Mick Foley and Cody Rhodes. They stopped doing deals with them because now they're doing deals with WWE because the image and the copyright. So imagine Young Bucks stopped working with them because that's the one that made them the most money than any other uh spot than their own show or their own store. It just it just really bothered me. And I just hope all this shit is false and rumor. Even though they didn't sign the contract yet, I know they got the contract up until 2024. I just hope they think about it because you're an EVP. You calling the shots. If you give up the right, you working for them. And plus, let's not forget their schedule because their schedule is so relaxed. They can go spend time with their family. They can get healed up. WWE, they don't got that. You working from almost every single day, like 360 days a year. So they're willing to give up that lifestyle just to work with WWE because what CM Punk say to them, that would be the dumbest move. And Kenny Omega, he ain't safe either. Kenny Omega get that same treatment as well.
Mhm.
Just can't see it.
Yeah, and actually, an article just popped up here right now for on wrestling. Yeah, if anybody paid attention to the Fatal Five Way portion of SmackDown last night, you might have heard Michael Cole make a comment or two saying Ronda Rousey has been quote yeah shit did I just actually say that with in a Michael Cole segment Oh, Lord. Yeah. Rousey has been disciplined internally, the results of which will not be made public. And then he also said, sources told me WWE official Adam Pearce has gotten carried away. He's aired the dirty laundry publicly, hence the reason this investigation has been taken behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's a shot towards AEW. They WWE did being petty. WWE they
Are we surprised though? Are we really surprised?
I mean like I'm gonna tell you this. They getting real cocky. I'm gonna say this. Be careful. Be careful because sooner or later they're gonna slip up. Cause just because you're winning, you're doing great, doesn't mean you could be comfortable. The moment you feel comfortable, you're gonna get caught lagging. And that's totally gonna happen to them. They gonna catch slipping, and one of those companies gonna catch them right off the back because they keep on making fun of AEW. Soon as AEW gonna clap back at WWE. Just saying.
Yeah, but all I gotta say is this: that man, who would have thought like that within a 1 year span? Let's put this. Actually, it hasn't even really been here. CM Punk will return, become the world champ. You have Cody leave the company, and other EVPs are all suspended, and Punk's gone, and now we have two titles vacated, and finally with no interim champion. Yeah, like wow, who would have thought? Who would have thought all of that would happen in a 12-month span?
Nobody. Nobody. Like if you were to tell me that CM Punk, Lee, Cody would have this much problem, I'm like, nah, they be all right. AEW is doing good. Hell, I was the one there. Who would have thought that Vince Man would retire and have Triple H taking over WWE?
Oh, that one that one you could kind of say you saw coming, but it was just like unfortunately it took a little longer than we wanted.
Yeah, but it was like the a fantasy come to reality, seeing Triple H take over, and we get what we get. But as AEW goes, I would never thought all this shit was happening for the past couple of months because I could have sworn AEW is doing great and nothing can go wrong, and now we've seen that, and a lot of people is questioning AEW, and that lead us to another question: is what's next for CM Punk? What's next for Elite? And also in the wrestling world, what's next for BCC because they lost both their titles as well, the AEW Championship and the Pure title over there. So that's a question: is what next for BCC first because they need a win back. They're not weak. They are good, stable, one hell of a good stable. I should say one of the best technical clean stable I've seen since um for a long time. So that's a question that we ought to know.
Yeah, and I think like truthfully, yeah, the titles are gonna sting for a little bit, but yeah, they're gonna wind up working this back a little bit. But here's where I think the real test is going to be: is if the situation that a majority of people think is going to play out, and that we do have Danielson versus Moxley in the finals. Yeah, what's going to happen? Let's say Danielson becomes AEW champion,
Mm.
and especially after Moxley just cut that promo that he did Wednesday night. Yeah, and this could wind up bringing back the exact opposite of what we originally had. And then you also got to think, although I know like Wheeler was kind of playing it up a little bit because he was in Garcia's hometown, but yeah, do you think it's a little early to maybe call a heel turn for Yuta?
Nah, I don't think he'll turn heel because BCC is doing good. They're on a hot streak, and it's way too early for them just to go on a rocky patch. And really, I can't see him be a heel. Frustrated, yeah, but him being a heel and turns back on his crew, I just couldn't see that happen. I think that'd be a dumb move on AEW and BCC move for him to turn
Oh,
heel.
I was about to say, like, just up and dipped best friends like it was nothing. So,
Yeah, that's probably they go. I surprised they had to do BCC versus best friend feud that much. They did a little bit, but not as heavy as I wanted to
yeah,
be.
yeah. And you know what else I could probably see? And then I thought about it. Oh Lord, can you imagine if they did a double turn with Garcia and Yuta and Garcia goes to BCC, but then Yuta goes to Jericho?
Mm, him be a sports entertainer. He was entertaining and being elite with best friends. So I don't know. I just can't see him do that. I can see no. I can see Willie Yuta and Daniel Garcia working together as a tag team
Yeah,
or a trio tag team because I can see Dane Bryanson, Willie Yuta, and Dan Garcia as a trio. That would be
true.
a dangerous pack.
Ah, yeah, and then especially like if Claudio's still the Ring of Honor champ. By the way, great match last night against Dax. Yeah,
Hmm.
and there's like some options that could come about with this one, but it's just like because sometimes AEW does have a tendency is like the things that if you pick them up on the air, they'll wind up, yeah, they'll wind up catching a story if you really pay attention to like minor details and stuff. Mm.
Yeah.
It's by the way, it since you brought up Miro earlier, yeah, cause I'm getting sick and tired of you predicting shit. Yeah, because Wednesday when we did our dynamite recap, yeah, this dude kept asking, "Where's Miro? Where's Miro?" And of course, what does Miro go on to say this week? Yeah, that of course he upset that he's not in the tournament.
Yep.
But I
Guess.
do got to give our Wolf credit though.
Hmm. I mean, I guess. I guess he knows they're the same night because AEW do record both show. Well, they do record Rampage after the show. So pretty much, pretty much, Miro pointed out, everybody pointed out, and I'm pretty sure the fans probably knows about it. So I hope Miro will find himself into the tournament or interfere or do something because right now it's a crime that he's not in the tournament, and plus he's a former champion. That's the whole tournament. Tournament of Champions.
Ooh. I just actually, I did think of something crazy. Imagine if, like, imagine if Moxley got hurt, or wait a minute, who did, or no, if Daniels or one or the other. But then Miro wound up replacing it, kind of like Oh no, wait, actually, you know why? Because no, because Miro was the one who got her. Wait, how who got replaced the last time when they were doing that number one contendership that Danielson wound up winning? Because it was
Uh,
supposed to be Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, right? And then that's when Mox checked it, went to its rehab and whatnot, right?
yeah, they got placed by.
And yeah, that's where Miro came in. Yeah, and then
Mm,
fought Cassidy.
I can see the same scenario happen, but I doubt it. I
And
doubt we see Miro be in the tournament once again. But
um, but I could also see this way. I could also see him wanting to challenge the winner as well.
that's true. Cause let me check out the good old AEW rankings, where it does not make any sense at all.
Yeah, it's like whose line? So the
Oh
stats
god,
don't matter, and neither do the rankings.
yeah. Cause I'm to this day I'm still confused how the ranking really plays out. But let's see. Here we go. Let's see who's the number one contender for it. All right. So this is the August 31st ranking. So this is pretty much old.
And
So last time I saw was CM Punk was the number one contender. Hangman Page, Powerhouse Hobbs, Jay Lethal, and Darby Allin. Number one contender at the time was Tony Storm. Now she's a women champion. Britt Baker, Athena. Now she lost to Jade. Uh, Akira Shidida, Jimmy Hayter. And for the tag teams, FTR, The Acclaims, Young Bucks. Now Young Bucks, I guess, suspended. Number 10 and Evil Uno and the Guns.
looks like I'm just gonna see if I can find them on Twitter because, like I said, I don't think they is. Yeah, because I know like AEW's actual site does not always keep things up to date. So
Yeah, that's why I look at it. Say August 31st.
yeah, uh, yeah.
So
Actually, you know what? Yeah, because I didn't even see them when I was trying to look for the updates for. Yeah, when I was trying to do updates for the cards and whatnot, because usually I would see them like when they're getting ready to promote something for like the Wednesday just before the show starts. So it's like, yeah, they have not updated those in a little bit. I'm guessing because of like all the chaos that's been going on backstage that they really hadn't had time to really focus on it in the recent days or whatever.
no. Oh, speaking of Twitter, guess who just tweeted 6 hours ago? Or one half of the IWGP Tag Team Champion, Ring of Honor, and AAA Tag Team Champion, Uncle Dex. And he posted up the picture of the AEW Tag Team Championship saying, all right, let's get back to work. So that means,
Uh,
yeah, he's going for the tag team titles.
yeah, because I was about to say, but they may have some other fish to fry when it comes to them belts because again, let's see. I know it got the machine guns. We're still looking for. who by the way looked great at All Out. Um, and I even forgot about this. Like, remember at the end of Death by Dishonor, both Claudio and Yuta came out. Well, at least when Yuta was still pure champion. Remember, they were holding up their belts, and I was like, okay, we got some singles belts. How about we have these tag belts with it now?
Mm-hmm. Like they were teasing for the shot for the tag team titles as well.
And then you also got to think, like, of course, who's gonna be like top contenders down AAA, especially with Triple Mania coming up next month.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
then of course World Tag League still to come.
Oh,
So it's
and
like
juniors.
on the junior tags, yeah,
Shit, they're both
yeah,
coming at the same time.
yeah. So it's like FTR is going to be really spread thin the next few months or so.
Yeah, shoot. If Triple Mania happened, well, not Triple Mania, the World Tag Team Title League started happening, I think the AEW Tag Team Title will be at least on their mind because they got a tournament to get ready.
Yeah, and yeah, and like I said, and also yeah, and like I said, having all those different championships, yeah, yeah, you've got like teams from all over gunning for you.
Uh-huh.
But it, and yeah, speaking of those AEW tag team titles, yeah, 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 and I noticed, yeah, you and Tone brought this up Wednesday. Swerve came out and interrupted the Acclaim, but Keith Lee went with him.
Yes, that's the one thing that me and Antonio didn't know is that Keith Lee did not shows up. It was Swerve come out by himself and got booed because he interrupted the Acclaim.
Yep,
Uh, I got a feeling we may see some split between these two.
yep.
Um, Even though I don't want to see that happening, but it's like a writing on the wall because his demeanor, his style
Mm.
is
I'll
getting
say, go back to that battle royal. It's been queuing up ever since then.
yes, they're brewing right now. They plant some seeds.
Mhm.
Kind of like similar with Christian Cage and Jungle Boy from the Battle Royale.
Yep,
So we may see the same thing with Keith Lee and Swerve. Um, I think we gonna have a new tag team champion.
yep. And yeah, and much deserved because, like I said, they claimed it busting their ass, and I know they've gone through their own personal issues. Of course, um, Bowens with the injuries, and then Caster getting suspended temporarily because of the one rap he did.
Oh,
Um, yeah, yeah, but then I think actually Max was even injured for a brief moment too. So
mm,
yeah, so it's been a lot of stuff, but like acclaimed, yeah, the people love him, man. Mm,
yeah, man. They're one of the teams. They are criminally uh didn't get a shot or didn't win a tag team title. Pirate Party, they're one of them. Dark Order, that's a long overdue for a tag team title. Um, I want to say the Guns, they they in a good mix. Um, who else? Oh, Best Friends, that's another
yeah.
one. Best Friends. Um, hell, any member of the Jericho Appreciation Associations.
Oh yeah, because Cool Hand and yeah, Cool Hand and Daddy Magic. And
Yeah,
oh, wait a minute, Ted Nail gets me for this one. When is that match with Action Bronson? Is it going to be is it next week or is it going to be
I
or
think
Grand Slam?
I think it's gonna be I want to say next week, but I think they might save for Grand Slam because that's a big show. And plus, you got a celeb rapper Action Bronson. Everybody know who he is, and he did
Yep.
a track for a hook. They gonna say that for later. They gonna build something up with that one. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm thinking, yes, I think it is a Grand Slam because yeah, because yeah, Bronson said that's like his hometown and whatnot. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hometown love there at Grand Slam.
they gonna treat. You know what? I got a feeling this show may overshadow All Out and make you want to forget about All Out.
Yeah, I
Because
think it
how?
will too.
Yeah,
And I think you actually brought up something else I didn't think about. That if MJF decides to cash that damn chip in, and is like, and he even said it, he got that title shot at any time he wants. Because if you imagine if he wants to all of a sudden make that thing between make the finals like a triple threat.
it's gonna be after. It's gonna be after celebration.
Yeah,
MJF comes in, cash it in with the help of Stokely because
yeah,
he got his
and
own
Morrissey and
crew.
all that crew. Yeah.
hmm Which I'm surprised they didn't come together. It's kind of like work together here and there, but not there. But hopefully they all come together.
Well,
But
he waiting for the championship moment for that to work.
that's what I'm thinking about too. I mean, shit, Stokely got his own crew. Got the
Yeah.
guns. Uh,
Eat the Page, Morrissey, Moriarty. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, they beat the hell out that. Oh, I knew there was something we ain't talked about Wednesday. Yeah, when word to the wise, when Stokely get a mic, don't cut him off.
oh God, they beat the shit. They beat the shit. He beat the shit out of dude with the damn microphone, and he got kicked in the face.
Yep.
That stable, they need to keep that eyes out for that one. And plus, the most interesting member out of everybody else is Ethan Page because everybody wants to know where's Scorpio Sky and how he feel about this. That's
Well,
gonna be
not
more.
only that, but also yeah, well, because I can guarantee you men of the year are done.
Oh shit, yeah, that's old whip. Even though they are very entertaining as hell. The mic skills, the match, the moment, very entertaining. But Ethan Page goes solo dolo. He won his title. Just like his own boy Josh Alexander, who was a current Impact World Champion, I think he won his title on his own piece. Um, Speaking of stable, the big question is what's next for Elite? Um, Come back from the extensions, suspicions, and I guess pick up the pieces because right now I can't see them going after the trio tag team titles, but I can see the Young Bucks going after the tag team titles. And for as
Yeah.
Kenny Omega, I can see him go pick it right back up and face Will Ospreay, feuding with Will
Yep.
Ospreay because that was a talk of the town between the Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. They were going back and forth on Twitter at the end of the show, and
And actually, you know what? This suspension kind of frees him up for that now,
yeah,
to an extent.
that's it's kind of I want to say slow it down a little bit because the Burning Spirit I think it's coming out next week or a couple of days. Will Ospreay is going to defend his United States Championship against the Rebel David Finlay for the
Oh
title.
yeah, that's right. Because I forgot Finley beat him in G1.
Yes, that's son of a bitch. Yeah, he gets to defend his title, and we will see what happens. And we know my boy Ospreay will retain that title. Most likely, he will. And hopefully, by the time suspension is over, they can spark that feud back up, and hopefully, towards let's see, September. October, November.
Because we still got Power Struggle, I know, coming up in November, I believe.
Yeah, Power Struggle.
Oh, then there's also Royal Quest coming up next month.
Yes. So I think we're also going. I think we're also going to be in that show too. I hope.
Yeah, because let's see. Yeah, at least for both nights anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then
Yeah,
what? Oh yeah, the Rumble in New York. New
yeah.
Japan gonna be over there. So
Battle Autumn, like Battle Autumn tour happening. Yeah, Rumble on 44th Street, and then oh, there's also something new we got for our friends down in the Oceania area because they got New Japan Tamashi down in New
yes,
Zealand and Australia.
I can't wait to see that one. And they said they're gonna bring some talent from Australia and New Zealand. New
Uh,
Japan,
well,
they
somebody's already there.
ah the Bullet Club.
Yeah, because isn't a certain world champion from New Zealand?
Ah yes, Balak. Well, not Balak Fale. Shoot.
Hey, I just said it. Who the champ?
Oh right, the
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. God damn it. Yeah, my
Hey, yeah, it's like Switchblade. Yeah.
Switchblade, of course. My mind blank. Yes, the Switchblade. He could be there. And also, it brings new talent from New Zealand and Australia, which that's going to be great. And New
And not to
Japan,
mention, Jonah's also from that area too. So
ooh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, if Jonah's going to be there, if he compete for the match or I hope a title shot somehow, some way. But no, wait, yeah, a title shot or facing the Okada. No, wait, never
yeah,
mind. That's down the line for the show because he did defeat him, and I think he was the winner would get the shot for the G1 title.
yeah. Now, cause remember, because Okada says they're not defending the briefcase anymore.
Oh, punk ass. I remember back in the day, I remember they used to do that back in the day. They defend the briefcase.
Yeah,
That used to be a fun shit. And matter of fact,
or at least like the little, or then he changed it the last time and said, yeah, have the old, like the old IWGP title represent like for G1.
and I thought that would be a great idea until he retired. Like, you flip flopping bastard. First, first you want to keep the title. No, you first you talk shit about the title, the new title. Then he brought back the title. Then you won the version 5 title. Then you retire the IWGP Championship. Like, you flip flopping bastard. You keep on changing your mind. So, so yeah, the New Japan, Australia, and New Zealand could be good. I feel like they expanding themselves even more than ever, and I can't wait to see more of New Japan.
Yep.
And
No,
mhm.
big thing. Yeah, I gotta say, like, yeah, especially at the build up to Wrestle Kingdom coming up this year, and man, and then coming back to one night only, and oh, I just thought of something because Wrestle Kingdom gonna be on a Wednesday this year. So that means that yeah, so after NXT, then you get Wrestle Kingdom. You
Oh
know,
god,
I understand. Yeah, then like if you sleep in between then you can like wake up just in time for Dynamite. There we go.
oh shit, that will be a one stacked wrestling show
Yeah,
because get NXT, get NXT, then you get New Japan and AEW the same night.
yeah.
I won't expect too many surprise for New Japan because I think it's already been locked down.
So
And AEW, if they decide to do a show on New Year's Day, That's gonna be one hell of a night to kick off 2023.
Yeah, because that's what you call it's already doing day one again.
Shit, WWE. Yeah.
Although that's going to be an L for him this year because I'm like, yeah, you right in the head NFL like on the final weeks like on playoff seedings.
Mm. Yeah, that's the playoff month right there. And
Yeah,
day one, they left a bad taste in our mouth after we saw that the last pay per view, or should I say last no this year pay per view of day one.
yeah. So this upcoming year, yeah, yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Uh,
It's like thank goodness Big E's missing that one. Yeah,
Shit. I hope Biggie. Well, I won't say Biggie come back, but hope Biggie doing okay because we have not heard from him for a bit unless we follow him through Twitter.
yep,
So hope he's doing all right. And speaking of what next, CM Punk. I know he's out for the injury plus suspensions. I ugh, it's gonna be a long road for CM Punk to get some trust back from the locker room. It's gonna be a long way for him to get his respect back to the fans and the company because he did a lot of shit. And for me being a CM Punk fan, there's no way coming back from this. Usually I would going back for him when he was in WWE, support him when he was in AEW, and now with this situation where you causing morales and causing all the ruffle and all the kind of uh the the firebacks and everything else, and maybe question CM Punk. And his career, I think, is not shattered. It's pretty much frozen right now because what next for him to do? He can't go back to WWE, and for AEW, they probably don't know what to do with him. New Japan, I doubt it. Noah, I don't know. DDT, I don't think so. I mean, the only outlet I can see him go to is podcast because one thing he's good at is talking.
yeah,
So I can see it being a podcast.
yeah. Like, uh, man, this is where I was like really stuck when it came to Punk because man, I don't know where he goes after this because to me, I think AEW was his last shot because yeah, with no Ring of Honor, of at least for the foreseeable future, and I think like New Japan's like kind of like iffy on him because I would have thought if he would have went anywhere, they would have taken him like a lot sooner than he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, there's pretty much only one thing that's gonna pretty much get him like anywhere back on track, and there's only one man that could probably do it. Although now I'd be real interested to see how this is since you done brought up how the fans are gonna be. How do you see a turn for Kenta playing into this?
Well, Kenta is already chimed in because Bobby Fish did post a tweet about him way back, and Kenta agreed with him. I can see Kenta slide right on in and fill in the shoes of CM Punk. Somehow, some way, he gonna slide right on in because Kenta he can come in AEW anytime he want to,
True.
and plus this is the match that everybody want to see: CM Punk versus Kenta. But now Kenta's come around in, and the fans will embrace him because people respect Kenta, and plus everybody know he's the originator of the GTS. and plus he's part of the Bullet Club. So that's like win after win after win for Kansas situation. Um, he could fit right in, and CM Punk be on his way out. It's kind of like what kind of situation I can see this? It's kind of like Cam Newton situation. You take one quarterback, you replace another one. That's kind of situation I'm looking at right now. So I can see that happening. And speaking of quarterbacks,
and,
let's talk
and
about
everything else.
yes. Let's talk about all the wrestlers who come from gridiron, come from football, either college or NFL. And no, and
Yeah, what a
unfortunately,
perfect weekend to do it, folks, because yeah, like I said, college football started about a week ago. NFL, of course, kicked off Thursday with the Bills shocking the Rams and they in their decisive fashion. But
yes.
well, at least if you went by the second, it was decisive. First half, it was a little choppy. But anyway,
Oof. Yeah, still got
many
that.
great, yeah, many of the greats came from the gridiron. So let's see, who do I want to start with? Well, let's go with one of the most noted ones, even though depending on how you feel from him. Of course, JBL. Now, of course, JBL started out, yeah, it's a player at Abilene Christian. Yeah. Then, of course, he got signed by the Raiders. Yeah. Unfortunately, he got released. Um, did play in the World League of American Football for a brief period for the San Antonio Riders. Yeah. But then, of course, he would go on to a good career down in Global Wrestling in Dallas before heading over to WWE, where he'd actually become a Grand Slam winner. And, and I had to say this. They now I know everybody said what they wanted about Bradshaw, both good and bad, but yeah, he definitely parlayed a career for himself.
He got a good career in both NFL, a little bit, but majority of his career, people know him, and in WWE, or should I say F, where he was a black Jack. He worked his way up, and his career still right high skyrocket. We part to Apocalypse or Apocalyptics, become the APA, one of the most fun-loving tag team during the Attitude Era, and then you with Solo Dolo become JBL, which that's a character I really disliked. um, I mean,
Oh, sling God!
yeah, said all them. He ran out all the immigrants out of the damn Mexico during
Yeah,
SmackDown.
I wanted probably one of John's like, damn, I wish I didn't get involved in that fight in. Yeah, but I'll definitely say this: Bradshaw definitely became a memorable wrestler, regardless. Maybe not, maybe not as for a technician, but definitely a brawling sense. And man, when he went from, and definitely one of the more evolutionary wrestlers, because to go from typical cowboy to uh beer guzzling hitman, for lack of a better word. Actually, wait, before I get to that, yeah, because you mentioned the acolytes. Yeah. Of course, they're rolling with the occult with the Undertaker briefly, then becoming the beer guzzling like hitman slash bodyguard or whatever, and then to become a Wall Street wizard. And BBL definitely had a good evolution over his career.
Oh yeah, from being a WWE champion to pretty much Grand Slam champion because he did win the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship
Yep.
and winning.
Actually, he was briefly a European champion, believe it or not. So he
And
actually held both versions of the Grand Slam.
oh yeah, shit, he did. Damn, and the hardcore title.
Yep.
So he pretty much won. Yeah, he did win almost. Well, he did win every single title except for the light heavyweight championship and the cruiserweight title.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the only, yeah.
But
So yeah.
yeah, we got of course we can't forget about his tag team partner, one of the most well known football player to pro wrestler,
FSU baby.
Ron Simmons.
That's
He,
right. Ron Simmons, of course. Yeah, of course, the defensive nose guard under FSU. Of course, consensus All American twice over. Um, yeah, actually finished his senior year and ninth in the Heisman behind eventual winner Charles White. Actually was the third person to have a jersey retired by FSU with its number 50. And then, of course, he would temporarily play for the Cleveland Browns in the early 80s and then be part of the Tampa Bay Bandits in the USFL before starting his stint in professional wrestling. Most notably, starting off with Jim Crockett Promotions under the NWA regime, then, of course, when it transitioned to WCW, and, of course, becoming part of the first Black World's Tag Team Champions with Doom. Yeah. And then, of course, we just recently talked about his 30-year anniversary of winning the WCW championship from Vader.
mhm.
Then, of course, his groundbreaking work in the um, WWF as a part of the Nation of Domination, and of course, finishing off with his time in the APA.
Yep, he had a great career. Also, he did have a little appearance in ECW, in which I
And
wish he stayed.
yep, yeah, great. Also, also had a brief stint in New Japan as well.
I wish I did. I watched a couple of his matches, and I wish he would stay in New Japan as well because he would be a lot more successful in New Japan at the
Yep,
time, and if he would have stayed there, I think he would have wrestled in what's that show? Collision in Korea,
yep,
maybe. Oh yeah, most likely yeah, without the gunpoint. But yeah, he did a lot for WCW. He had great moments in WWF slash WWE. Winning tag team titles, had great many moments as APA. Historic moments with Nation of Domination. Um, if you look at his momentum, when you look at him, you see him as a great wrestler. You see him as a great entertainer and great football player. You look back at the days, and to this day, people still recognize him as a great black champion. And speaking of champions, I got my pick. Look no further than Big Van Vader.
yeah,
This man had played for the LA Rams for one brief season until he got injured. Um, he have held all different titles from New Japan, WCW, All Japan Pro Wrestling, Germany, Noah, even UWFI. He fought there, and let me tell you something. That promotion is where you don't want to be there because they fight. But for Big Van Vader, he's mostly one known as a WCW guy. mostly well known in Japan. Had a little
First, I
brief.
think one of the first Gaijin to be the IWG champion, correct?
Yes, he got he had what's version title he got? The version one title. He held that one title, and plus, on a side note, he even praised that title more than the WCW World Championship. He even said this title is better than a toy belt, in which that's kind of pretty fucked up, but that's Vader saying.
Mm. Yeah, and the yeah, and let me tell you, like definitely one of the more noted matches up there is legendary rivalries with guys like Antonio Inoki, Ricky Choshu, but of course the match that like went into infamy was his fight with Stan Hansen where Vader lost an eye.
Yeah, I've seen that video. His eyes all bulging
Oh,
out, and
Hill,
at
can you
the
cover for me for a minute? Because I got to go real quick.
oh sure. So with that, Vader had to go through a lot of stuff. Vader had been playing for football, and he won championship. But for this one, he was drafted to the Los Angeles Rams, 24th pick in the third round. Also, in the first season, the Rams go to the Super Bowl, earning himself an NFC Championship ring. So not only that, he winning a football ring, or should I say, NFC Championship ring. Also, he moved on to career to become a wrestler in the 80s, in which he went on to become the Baby Bull. And then after that, went on and, competing for the championship, competing on being one of the best wrestlers of all time. And from CWA to New Japan, pretty much all promotion, including mostly well known in WWF, in which he had some okay successful run, but the only title shot we ever seen was the WWF title shot when he fought Shawn Michael. Unfortunately, he lost where he took an L a couple of times. But other than that, he's one of the greats of all time during that time. Another name who was transitioned from the gridiron to pro wrestling, Moose. He's a former Impact uh, grid, not grid, Grand Impact Grand Champion, former Impact World Champion, and he used to wrestle in Ring of Honor. Used to wrestle for he still wrestles for Japan still, and currently he wrestle in Impact Wrestling. For him, he used to compete. He used to play for Syracuse until he was drafted to Atlanta Falcons in the fifth round in 2006. And then he went on to play with New England Patriots, St. Louis Rams, and Indianapolis Colts. So he played different teams, and he had a good run in the NFL, and good run, good 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 career over there. And after that, he left the Saints around 2012 and start become a professional wrestler around 2012. And he was start working his way up and getting trained under Mr. Huge, uh, WWF legend, or should I say a manager back in the day. And after that, made his debut in the Dragon Gate along with Bravo Brothers in a bodyguard role. And then he made his roster of GFW, Global Force Wrestling, in which it was short lived. It was shut down. And then he went over to Ring of Honor, and he appeared there for a good bit. And he had a good run. He competed over there, and I watched him. And to be honest, I thought he would have been a great Ring of Honor World Champion or TV champion because he got all the right tools, right size at the time, and plus during that time period, Ring of Honor was hot. It's way before the AEW situation. He was at the right time, at the right place. And then after that, he left Ring of Honor and decided to go to TNA. But at the same time, he did wrestle a little bit for New Japan after that, and he's still wrestling for New Japan to this time. But he made his mark in TNA, competing for the Impact Impact excuse me Impact Grand Prix Championship. Impact Grand Prix Championship, which he was wrestled there. He won the title in a good match, and and a couple of times he had competed for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, where he was a babyface at the time period. And then after that, he continued move forward after his title run with the Grand Championship, and then he went over competing for another titles. He he started teaming up with Lashley, started doing his own feud and pretty much do everything else. And he did an amazing thing. Uh, all the times he had won during his time period when he was a wrestler. He was a former GWF German Wrestling Federation champion, former SCW Florida Heavyweight champion, former IPW champion. That's in the UK. Former PW 2.0 heavyweight champion, and for as TNA, he was a former world champion, TNA World Heavyweight Champion of the Big Gold Belt, Grand Champion twice. He had won the Gauntlet, and he also won the Feast of Fire contract and the Joker Wow.
All right.
So
All right, but
a
I'm back. Yeah. All right. Who'd you cover since then?
I cover. I just got done with Vader, and I just got done doing Moose.
All right. Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, had to do one for Tune since he wasn't. But yeah, I gotta admit, Moose is somebody that shocked me because I know like when you first saw him and like he had the speech pattern and everything, I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's gonna wind up being a joke wrestler or whatnot. But like the last, I'll say 2, 3 years, and this dude like really exploded it into like that next level. And I gotta give him credit. Like Moose definitely proved that sometimes it may take a while, but careers could come along like late in life. And like I said, he really hit his stride these last few years.
hmm I think he's one of the successful transition wrestlers from for football to pro wrestlers. Um, Came a long list with Moose, with of course Roman Reigns, with Big Van Vader,
Yeah,
JBL, Ron Simmons, um, Don Goldberg as well.
and
Those are the long list of wrestlers who came from NFL or football
and
and
and,
transition very easily.
and then of course I'd be remiss if we didn't mention this man. Um, yeah, yeah, just 4 years removed from his passing. Of course, the late great Jim Anvil Neidhart.
Yes.
Of course, many remembers one half of the original Hart Foundation with, of course, Bret the Hitman Hart. But yeah, Jim had a brief run in the NFL with both the Raiders and the Cowboys, and And I always laugh at this one because oh, now I don't know how legitimate this is, but do you know why Neidhart left the NFL?
My best bet, very unprofessional player.
Um, he said, yeah, allegedly, here's how the story goes. He said he left the NFL because it wasn't tough enough for him.
Oh god.
Yeah. But then again, like I said, that's only the alleged story. I I don't
Yeah.
know if it wasn't, but it was like, but then again, knowing Neidhart like I do, that probably might be true because, yeah, because when he transitioned into wrestling, yeah, that definitely gave him some bumps and bruises over the course, and yeah, of course, um, getting to start up like many people from the Hart regime. Yeah, started up in Stampede Wrestling. Yeah, where he would later meet his wife Ellie, and of course team up with his future brother-in-law Brett. It took a little time over in Germany and catch wrestling, which is yeah, which seems to be a lot of what a lot of guys did if you wrestled over in Germany, and also had a brief stint in New Japan as well. Yeah, before ultimately where he'd go to the World Wrestling Federation, and like I said, of course, the legendary Hart Foundation tag team, and of course their rivalry with the British Bulldogs, which actually started briefly in Stampede, but then crossed over into the WWF. And of course, the Hart Foundation took on many of famous teams like I said, the British Bulldogs. They fought Strike Force. They fought the Rougeos, the Killer Bees, the Rockers, Demolition, Nasty Boys. It even had a one-time match with uh, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, as well as a one-time match with the Road Warriors.
Hmm.
Mhm. And then, of course, briefly, after Jim would leave, um, yeah, he would return back to the World Wrestling, this time with the younger brother Owen Hart, and of course they would form the new foundation. And then of course Neidhart would leave again, but then play a big role in Owen becoming the King of Hearts. And yeah, then of course Jim also was briefly in ECW when it was still Eastern,
Oh yeah.
and had some brief moments in WCW, like back in '93, and then also in '98, shortly after the Montreal Screwjob. Yeah, and then of course, like I said, yeah, Jim passed away in August of 2018. Um, yeah, of course, I think it was yeah, I think he had a seizure at the time, and yeah, and actually had early onset Alzheimer's. But I'll tell you what, though, regardless, yeah, even though it's a sad ending to a good life, like Anvil was definitely a character.
Right. One of the best, I don't say powerhouse tag team technician of all time. Right next to Big Steiner. But Jim Neidhart, he's very entertaining. He's very energetic during the rock and roll wrestling era of WWF. And if you think about a Hart Foundation, you think about Bret Hart, of course, you're thinking about the tag team technician of Jim Hart, and that's what you always think about. And he's one of the kind, one of the great characters during that time era. And plus, he did wrestle in WCW for a brief, short period, but you will mostly recognize him as a one half of the WWF Tag Team Champions, the Hart Foundation. And speaking of WCW, we can't forget about the great Steve Mungo McMichael.
Yep. And
Uh,
by the way, oh man, um, yeah, that one's gonna hit hard for this one because yeah, thoughts and prayers to you, Mongo, and
yes.
still dealing with ALS, and yeah, for those who don't know that, it's yeah, it's basically the Lou Gehrig's disease. Mm.
Mhm.
And of course, Mongo being one of the rare Super Bowl winners here, of course, those famous 1985 Chicago Bears. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, the
Let's see, he was a
Bears.
two-time, yeah, first team All Pro, and two-time Pro Bowler as well. Yeah, of course, like I said, legendary career with the Chicago Bears before doing the unthinkable, joining the Packers to end his career.
Yeah, from the Bears to the Packers.
Yeah, and which is almost a sin in Chicago. Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah, yeah, but then of course yeah, Mongo would get his start in wrestling by being one of the corner people for Lawrence Taylor. Well, surprised it took us this long to mention LT and this one, but of
yeah,
course, WrestleMania 11 when LT defeated Bam Bam Bigelow, and then just a few months later, yeah, Mongo will be in WCW at first as a commentator on WCW Nitro, yeah, and then of course becoming a member of the Horsemen at the 1996 Great American Bash, where he would betray his tag team partner Kevin Green, who we'll get into momentarily. Then, of course, Mongo would go on to become a United States champion by defeating Jeff Jarrett, and then losing the title when Kurt Hennig betrayed the Horsemen to join the NWO. And yeah, Mongo then suffered an arm injury during a match against the British Bulldog, but then since then was rarely featured in the ring until he was forced to retire.
yeah. Well, first I saw Steve McMichael. He was in a Four Horsemen, and he was wearing Chicago Bears attire all the time. He was part of the Four Horsemen, and he was he was an okay wrestler, I would say.
And,
Um, if you back then, he was an okay wrestler, but if you look up them YouTubes and some memes, they made him look worse. But he's very entertaining. Um, plus he's a great commentator. Well, but he was an okay commentator as well. But he's very known as a WCW guy. Mostly a Chicago Bear guy, Super Bowl champion and United States champion. So he's put he's one of the greats. He's put one of the goods.
and,
And speak of his partner, Kevin Green, another WCW legend. He's along with him, who
and,
play for uh,
and,
Pittsburgh Steelers,
yep, and
France.
the Panthers.
Yep. 49ers.
Actually a defensive player of the year during his one season in Carolina, and five-time Pro Bowler, and yeah, part of the '90s All-Decade team. And then his start into WCW. Um, Actually, this is like I think that's the only company he really had wrestling past with. But yeah, he was a corner man for for the returning Mega Powers at the January Clash champion when they lost to Ric Flair and the Giant, aka Paul White. And, um, and then Green would wrestle, like I said, in that aforementioned Great American Bash where Mongo betrayed him. Um, then he would team with Flair and Rowdy Roddy Piper to take on the Outsiders in six in the main event of Slamboree '97, and which Green actually uh, got the pinfall in that match. When he gave six power slam, and then I think Flair had a hole in the trigger for, and Piper had a sleeper on the other. Or no, did Flair had the figure four on Nash, and then Piper had the sleeper on Hall. Yeah, yeah. Either way, yeah. Green wound up getting the victory for his team, and then he would get his revenge on Mongo at the Great American Bash exactly 1 year after Mongo betrayed him. Uh, Thanks to a little inadvertent help from Jeff Jarrett. Let's see. And then Green would lose to the Giant in the 1988 Bash at the Beach at the Chokeslam. And I believe that would be his final match.
Yeah. Um, After that, he become the coach, well, the linebacker coach for Pittsburgh Steelers, uh, also for the Green Bay Packers, and also winning the championship. Well, part of the championship team with the Green Bay Packers. Then he left the Packers, become the coach for high school football for the Knightsville High School, and then also he stepped away to spend time with his family. And after that, in 2020, in December, he passed away with a heart attack, and that
Man, that one
was
floored me because I was like, what? I was like, Kevin, of all people? And I was like, man, and because he was like one of the healthiest cats I knew in like football, and I knew like later in life he had yeah, because I knew he was like a big nutrition guy like when he was playing, and I think he didn't start that way, but he kind of became one like right when he was getting into the peak of his career. So
mm,
yeah,
yeah, like damn, Kevin Green passed. I like that really threw me off because I know him mostly in WCW, and me being a Carolina Panther fan, I know who he is, and just seeing one of your own Carolina Panther legend and the WCW legend pass away is very very throw you off guard, and I hope that down the road, I hope that we induct him to Hall of Fame because he is a celebrity and he played a big role for WCW during that time period. So so he played a important role.
and
But that's I know we have lots of wrestlers came from
yeah,
NFL.
we got a couple extras from the college shows as well. So matter of fact,
Mm,
I'm gonna give you three that you probably wouldn't expect. And would you believe that a horseman would make the and not Mongo. Would you believe one of the original Horsemen would actually make this list?
I believe it. Lex Luger.
Well, actually, damn. Actually, I was surprised we didn't mention Luger in this one because yeah, because he actually played with Simmons as far with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with the Tampa Bay Bandits, excuse me. And then of course he was a former Hurricane, but then he got kicked out. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I think I had a practice squad time with the Packers. But Blanchard, but believe it or not, Tully Blanchard would also be on this list.
Oh yeah.
And believe it or not, he was actually a quarterback for West Texas State. Then he switched over to a defensive end, and as a fact, he actually, yeah, West Texas State would actually have a big play indirectly with professional wrestling because not only did Blanchard attend there, so did uh, the future Intercontinental Champion Tito Santana, as well as the eventual $1 million man Ted DiBiase.
Mm. Yeah. Those. Yeah. That would surprise me because all three guys came from football background and came along transitioned very well through wrestling during that time period. So
Yeah,
they be all right.
yeah, and yeah. Anybody else? If y'all got any other wrestlers, because like I said, there is a whole lot of lists we could go through. Y'all can pretty much leave them in the comments. But
Yes. Um, that's the show. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode. We're talking about Japan, AEW, Impact, of course, football. For next episode, we may do either what if or a different topic. But we'll definitely
oh,
keep
and
you guys.
thoughts and yeah, and also thoughts and prayers for before we sign off here. Of course, tomorrow, 21 years already since 9/11.
Yeah. It, wow.
And
That's
and
wow.
I'm already thinking about that episode of SmackDown already.
Oh man, if me will go make me want to go watch right now on my Peacock.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
thoughts, prayers, and of course, again, it's thoughts and prayers to everybody over in England. Of course, we lost Queen Elizabeth II.
yes,
But definitely thoughts there. Um, yes, please, everybody, please be safe. This, please be safe this weekend because like, I know like everybody's hyped up that NFL's back, etc. So those of you who get ready to head out, please be safe as you travel, and yeah, just be cognizant of all your fellow people like while you're celebrating these games because we've already had enough craziness over the last 2 years. Let's enjoy the season. Huh?
yes, and no more fights because I already see
Yeah,
fight took place already with Bills and the Rams. So,
yeah,
but stay safe, love one another. I'm your boy Heel. This is my
right.
partner Rockin' Reese,
And
and shout out to Antonio who couldn't make it. Until then, see you guys next time, and always embrace the thirst. Peace.